This video is designed to set up your science journal. Let's see how we do it. Remember, at any point during this video, you can pause and then hit play when you have caught up. The first thing we are going to do is make sure that this is your science journal. Now, your science journal can be a composition book or it could be a spiral bound notebook. Either option is fine. But on the front, where anybody can see it when your journal is closed, you need to have your name and you need to have your grade. You can also put the name of this course, but for the minimum, you have to have at least your name, first and last, please, and your grade. You also need to number the pages. So when you open your journal, that very first lined piece of paper you see is page 1. And then when you turn that, you have page 2 and 3, and then page 4 and 5, etc., etc. On page 1, if you could turn to page 1 and please copy the Science Journal commitment. The Science Journal commitment are the rules that you need to have for your Science Journal, and I will explain why now. First of all, you need to take pride in your journal. It's your journal. You only get one for the year. You only need one for the year. So please take pride in it. Second of all, you need to bring your journal to class every day. Every day we will work on your journal. If this is a problem with you, please work that out with your teacher. But it should be your responsibility to bring your journal every day. Next, you need to understand that this journal is a huge part of your science grade. Now, most of the grade is assessments. However, a lot of assessments are taken straight from this journal. Also, some quizzes you will be able to use the journal as a reference. You need to promise not to rip pages out of your journal. This is why journals fall apart. Now, if you rip a page out of a composition book, the string actually loses the tension and will slowly start to unravel. If you rip pages out of a spiral bound, you are actually warping the spring that is holding the spiral bound together, making it difficult to open and close your journal. So please don't rip any pages out. Finally, if you are absent or fall behind for any reason, then you need to leave space and you need to catch up on your own time. If you finish early in class, you could use that time to catch up. You could come in during lunch. You could find a time to catch up. Activities are posted on Google Classroom, or if it's just data and not their thoughts, you can get information from a friend in class. However, please do not copy their thoughts. You need to think on your own in this journal. At the bottom, please sign your commitment. Gluing in resources. So you are receiving 4 different resources that you need to glue into your journal. 3 of these are going to go into the front cover and back cover. You can choose how you want to do it. I highly recommend How to Write a Science Summary should be glued into the front cover of your science journal. You could also include Costas levels because that's really important to get higher level thinking skills in the science class. The final resource is annotating text. That one is also a useful resource to make sure that your journal is ready for AVID class. Whichever one you decide to put in the back cover of your journal, in a composition book, please remember that you do have a multiplication table there. So if you're not very good at multiplications, then please leave that spot open because we will be doing math in class this year. On page 2, you are going to glue in your grade graph. You will keep track of your grade in this class by making a line graph. So every week you will be given a few moments in class to look up your grade and to update your percent. On your grade graph, please choose a line that you will not cross. This is a promise to yourself that you will not go below your line. At the minimum, this red line should be a 60 because a 60 is a D minus minus, and anything below that is not passing this class. If you are an overachiever and insist on straight A's, then your red line might be a 90. And then above that, create a yellow line. This yellow line is your warning signal. It's the, something needs to happen here. Here is an example of a completed grade graph. So you can see the chart includes the date, the percentage, and the work that contributed to that grade change. And then down below, they have the red line at 70. This student did not want below a C. The yellow line at 80. This student was uncomfortable with a C. And then you can see the actual line graph, and the student kept an A up through the 7th week. Your line graph should be blank until next week. Now on page 3, we're going to have our table of contents. For each journal entry, you will need to put the title and the starting page number of each activity. You might find it useful to put in the date, but that's not necessary. It is your responsibility to fill this out as we go. Now, some activities might take multiple days, so it is possible that an activity will not be filling out your table of contents every day because an activity might take 3 days, especially when we do labs. You're going to skip a page just in case you need extra space for your table of contents. Remember, this journal will be kept all year long. And you will title page 5 Big Ideas. This is going to be where you keep and store your big ideas. These are the most important ideas from each activity, and this ideally will be a study guide for you to help you study for finals and for unit tests. The vocabulary section is the last section we're going to prepare. Please flip your journal over to the back area. If you feel uncomfortable writing kind of backwards, then you can flip it upside down and you're writing forwards. You're going to title this section vocabulary. Each vocab word will have a definition and a picture, so you need to leave an extra space for a picture. And this is where you're going to put your vocab for the science journal. It will be graded throughout the semester as well as throughout the year. So you will get graded on your vocabulary section. Your journal is now ready to go. Page 10, we will put our first activity, but that's not part of this video. So long for now, and thanks for putting your journal together.